I'm so white tee, blue jeans, white tee with a crew neck. And my dope boy fit like it's 07. From the Bayside, live with a car slide. Clubs in the club, keep me still outside. Shawty, pop it, gun. Pick a blue one, she hot, son. Looking at me, think I might be lunch. She wanna me with the lights
welcome,
turned on.
welcome, welcome.
See me shining, I'm out here thriving. I'm just trying to have fun with the squad, and we about to go dumb. We finna turn up till the lights turn on. Turn up till the lights turn on. Hey, 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 hey,
hey, come on in, come on in, come on in.
Yeah.
Listen, we about to get this party started. You know what? Let's just go ahead and get live on all platforms right now. We live on Facebook. We live on Instagram. We live on Twitch. Come on in. Come on. Come on.
I'm high as the sun. Turned up, think I might be drunk. Body with a body, put an X on me. And a boyfriend mad cause he got no fun. He a broke boy, gotta pay for the he don't get no paper. Creole, I got the flavor. Wanna be mean, sounds so basic.
Come on, come on.
Money find me, I don't chase that.
We are live on all platforms. Listen, I don't even have the time to make this video, but I'm making the time because I know that a lot of you out there are feeling how I've been feeling. Really attacked, downtrodden, and just overwhelmed by the amount of foolishness that has been going on online. Alfred's saying, slow down. Word? No, speed up. Come on. Get up out your seats. If you ain't got up before, get up now. Hey, 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 hey. Ooh, ooh. Hey, 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 hey. Ooh. Ooh. All right. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, listen. Today we're getting into a big conversation that needs to be had, that people are not having out of fear. Deborah's saying, I wish I could still move like that. You know what? Envision it in your mind and move in your mind to the best of your ability, and then let whatever it is that can come outward, whether it's the feeling, a tap of the finger, whatever it is, whatever body parts you have that can still move, tap them, move them, do whatever it is that you can do. Whew. All right. Let me tell you, I went live the other day and I was not aware of Charlie Kirk's content. And I had a lot of people, and in their thumbnails, they looked like what people call white people nowadays, making a lot of comments about all the good that Charlie has done and all the wonderful things that he has said, and how I didn't put XYZ I didn't put XYZ clip in the video. And for far too many white people in this country and abroad, racism doesn't seem to be a disqualifier. It doesn't seem to be, what do you call that? A deal breaker. What do you call that thing that they ask you in relationship, where if this thing is present, you just really can't mess with that person? It isn't a deal breaker for far too many of them, so that they'll excuse the racist things that a person says for a few here or there things that they may say that titillates them on the inside. So I was having a conversation with a lawyer friend of mine who said, you know, Charlie Kirk made comments about Ketanji Brown being a DEI hire. I said, what? I went looking for the clip. It was very, very hard to find. But I found it. That's what we see right here. I downloaded it because I want to keep this for reference, because this clip right here, anybody who says anything like this, I can't embrace them. This needs to be challenged. And the fact that there are so many white people that would not challenge, this is, whew. Let me calm down. Let me calm down and let me tell you all why we're here, right? We're here right now because there was a person by the name of Charlie Kirk who was gunned down on a Utah campus, one of the whitest states in the US, right? One of them, like like I went looking to see what the population of Utah was. It's of black people is very, very small, right? And he was going around to college campuses on this tour, inviting children. This big 31-year-old man was inviting children to debate him and the lies that he had pre-prepared, right? So, so he got shot, died instantly, and what happened online really turned my stomach. White people were coming out talking about a civil war attacking us and attacking liberals and blaming it on immigrants, gays, trans, black. They sent out threats and manifestos to HBCUs. For those of you who don't know what HBCUs are, they're historically black colleges and universities, which were created in the early part of the United States because they would not, it was against the law for black people to be able to read in this country. White people put up all types of barriers and impediments. When we said, you know what, okay, let's go our own way and do our own thing, they would come and seek us out and destroy, burn down, and massacre the people. They burn down what we built, massacre the people, and then go off and be like, see, I told you they couldn't create nothing. Mother effer, you just destroyed it. So now in this clip that I'm going to play for you, Charlie Kirk is insulting black women, and he says that we don't have the brain processing power. I want you to hear what it is that he has to say for himself. So whenever anybody tells you and tries to gaslight you into thinking that Charlie Kirk was not a racist, I want you to pull up this video, and don't you worry, I got you. On my clips channel, I will post this clip alone so that you can be able to show this to anybody, because when I went looking for this clip, it was hard to find. So I can only imagine other people. So if you all are ready to get into the meat and potatoes of it, let's go ahead and do that, because you know, there's a lot of people who are afraid right now to call a thing a thing. And I'm telling you, from what it is that I heard, Charlie Kirk was a raging misogynist, a raging racist who put the lives of black people, marginalized communities, black women, and others at risk. I'm going to play a lot of videos for you all today so that we can get into more details about who Charlie Kirk was and what these people were saying. I have a lot of screenshots that I want to show you all of what these people on the so-called right were coming out saying that they were going to do to us. They were just looking, frothing. Their balls were twitching and their little labia flapping and curdling up against itself looking for a reason to try to harm other people. And then, oh, it's been very quiet once it was revealed that it was a white man, a young white man. Oh, my glasses are throwing off the autofocus. Let's come on, focus on my face, baby. It was a young white man who is the son of a pastor raised in a Republican house, a gun-loving Republican house where he was taught to fire these long-range guns as a child. I see people are saying that the boy was a Republican. I am seeing that he was born and raised in a Republican household. However, he had not voted in recent elections. So they don't know what his exact politics were. But we do know he was raised in a Republican household. We do know that he was a Utahn. We know that. So let's jump into it right now. If you all are ready, go grab your blanket, your sock. Oh, you know what? I got to put my thing on because we are going to be, let me put this hold on, stop, reset, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. We're going to dance every 35 minutes, all right? All right, if you're ready, I am ready. Where's the play button? Hold on. Give me just 1 second. Oh, it's hidden. All right, there we go.
Yeah, we know.
Hold on. Hold on. Let's go all the way to the beginning so that we can get him in all his glory. All right, here we go. If I could put my glasses back on because this needs to be examined right here.
Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee.
What is going
and
on?
Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks.
Why is this thing acting crazy? Come on. Let's do this again because I want to use this. I want to create a short clip, so it has to be right. Okay, here we go.
Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called the racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know.
Listen.
You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously. Play cut 52.
But I rise today as a clear recipient of affirmative action, and particularly in higher education. I may have been admitted on affirmative action, both in terms of being a woman and a woman of color, but I can declare that I did not graduate on affirmative action. This is my personal story.
I hear because of action affirmative. She can't even say that. We know. It's very obvious to us that you were not smart enough to be able to get in on your own. I couldn't make it on my own, so I needed to take opportunities from someone more deserving. You know, this is how arrogant Joy Reid and Ketanji Brown Jackson and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee are. They're so narcissistic, they think this is persuasive. They think we're like, oh, of course, that's why we need affirmative action, because you have impressed us with your brilliance. Of course. Oh no, imagine the world without Joy Reid. Imagine the world without Sheila Jackson Lee or Michelle Obama or Ketanji Brown Jackson. They think this is persuasive. They think as they kind of now reveal that I'm only here because of anti-white, anti-Asian forced discrimination policies.
What?
That turned me into a bitter, resentful activist that hates white people, honestly, through our policies.
Speaking of word slips, you see how he almost said
anti-Asian forced discrimination
people.
policies.
Listen, how I'm gonna hate.
That turned me into a bitter, resentful activist that hates white people.
You heard how he almost said black people. You heard it. Let me just explain to people who don't understand why what he's saying is racist. What is it about the condition of being Black that would stop a person from having the brain processing power to be able to get certain types of employment or higher employment or get into higher education? What is it? Is there something inherently defunct about being Black? Is there something that, because you remember the eugenicists used to do all of this pseudoscience with different sized brains and saying that Black people, their brains just couldn't XYZ. So that they made it illegal for Black people to be able to read, to be able to write, to be able to get educated. They made all of these things illegal. Why would it need to be illegal if they lack the brain processing power? The good Christian in you should want to help out these lower beings, right? Right? What's wrong with his statement is because, number one, it infers that there is something internally defunct about being Black that stops a person from being able to have brain processing power. Number two, it pretends as if a position belongs to a more quote unquote deserving person who is quote unquote either white or Asian, right? They're not looking for the right person for the job. They're looking for the white person for the job. So they're going to go around and push this narrative that you took something that was inherently theirs. So they stack the deck in their favor. Stop you from being able. Ketanji Brown in that clip said that if it weren't for affirmative action, she would not have been given the chance in this country as it was set up. And he's pretending as if she wouldn't have gotten a chance because there's something inherently wrong with her. And then he starts saying, imagine a world without. Not imagine the job without, but he's saying imagine a world without these people in it. So to a person like him, it wouldn't have made a difference. But to what about the other people who were inspired by seeing a person in a position? He also goes on to say that if he saw a pilot that was Black, let me look up some of my other clips that I have. This is going to be a fairly lengthy show because there's a lot of clips that I want to show you, right? I just want you to see the type of human being that this was. Let's see what this says here.
I don't like you.
Let's see. Maybe not that one right there. This one.
All about empathy and sympathy.
Oh, yes, I have a lot of clips that I want to show you. Oh, but which one should I go to next? Oh, there's just so many good ones. You know what I will do? You know what? I'll just play them one by one in order. That's what I'll do. We're going to be here for a minute, so just buckle up, buttercups. Buckle up. Here, let's get this one up. Let's see what's being said here. I wanna fix up my screen because the screen is not. Oh, you know what? Maybe I could try a different screen. Maybe if I try this one. All right, there, it's already pre-cut. Perfect. Perfecto. Let's see what we have here. Okay.
I don't like you. I think you spread hate. I think you spread bigotry. I think you piss a lot of people off because you're just an awful person. I don't think you really want to debate because you're just here to piss people off and energize your crowd of racists.
What have I ever said that's racist?
Oh,
can you name one thing?
It's called the white fragility prayer. This is a psychosocial model that I'm currently developing. It's characterizing a kind of predictive model of what you can expect a white person to articulate if they are found in proximity to racism. It goes, racism exists, but not here. And if it's here, it's not me. And if it was me, I didn't mean it. And if I meant it, it's not racist, or I'm not racist. That's just how it is. It's a way in which, no matter how close the racism might actually be in proximity to a person who might in fact be perpetuating racism in some harmful way, there's always an effort to distance oneself from it. I want to give you some examples of what the white fragility prayer looks like in action.
Like, I'm sorry, If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. Like we have been from Somalia. And
I just want to pause on that point real quick, right? If he sees a black pilot, he's going to be like, boy, I sure hope they're qualified. You know, I fly a lot. And when I look at these white pilots, I wonder whether or not they were a Nepo hire. I wonder whether or not they got the job simply because somebody liked them, they were white, and they were on the in crowd. It doesn't seem like many of these people are looking for the right person for the job. Looks like they're just looking for the white person for the job. What is it about being white, about having a deficiency in melanin, that makes a person more qualified? There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. And I don't understand how these people don't understand, by the mere facet of them propagating this racism and this faux white supremacy, it shows that they are not superior. It shows that they have an inferior mindset. And it's like a catch-22. The fact that you think you're superior actually makes you inferior in thinking. So for far too long, they've been handing the jobs to one another. Listen, for those of you who have ever gone to school with white people or worked with white people, you know that there's nothing inherent about whiteness that makes anybody better at anything. As a matter of fact, far too often it makes them lazy because they know that they can get by with their mediocrity. They know that they can steal ideas. They know that they can just slap it up, or their father is golfing with XYZ and they can just slide on through because of connections that other people have been systemically cut out from. Please. When I see, listen, I flew recently and I saw a female pilot and I said, damn, I know she went through a lot to get there in this male-dominated industry. And I clapped and applauded for her. When I see a black pilot, I know what it is that they have gone through. Listen, I go to a PWI right now. He's going to talk about diversity and how diversity hasn't made anything better, right? I go to an Ivy League school right now. And because of the diversity at the school, I've been able to learn about Iran and how Iran was a much different country 30 years ago, about how this new regime, like Iran they're Persians. They're not like this regime came in and implemented all of this stuff over the Iranians, but that was not their original way of life. Being in a diverse group and surrounding has given me understanding, empathy, access to different people and their stories. I got a chance to learn that Asian people, that their parents are very hard on them, that the way that they are brought up is very similar to the way that Black people are brought up, that Asian parents are sometimes often cold, that their parents are often very strict and have regimented rules and beliefs and directions that they want their children to go in, and that often Asian children feel underloved. And I didn't know that before going to school in a place where there was diversity. I've learned that this facade that white people are putting up in public is a much different story behind the scenes, that white people are struggling. This is why people like him come out and talk about how these jobs are supposed to be white people's jobs, because he's giving them a scapegoat. Because white men were promised a thing in this society, and the society is not delivering the thing that these white men were promised. They were promised that they were going to get a home, a woman that's going to take care of the home, a job that's going to be able to buy the home and take care of all of the bills in the home and the children and all of this other stuff. And when these men are coming out, they're learning it's a much different damn story out there. What I'm learning is that being born Black in this country has embedded me with a level of, I want you to hear what it is that I'm saying, please. A level of resilience, a level of the ability to overcome adversity and other things. It has embedded me with the humility that I don't expect. It has embedded me with the humility of not feeling entitled. It has embedded me with the work ethic, with the ability to overcome, just merely by the facet of growing up Black in America. Let me tell you, when you don't have the pounding that this country does to us, you bend and you fold because you are, I won't call you weak, but you haven't been hammered into strength. Let me tell you, I was on a healing journey. And on this healing journey, I was sitting there around the fire, pontificating with a person who was partaking of a grassy herbal substance, right? And we were talking, and I looked up at the sky and I saw this really tall, those of you who are in California, you know. Those of you who are in Florida, you know, you see those palm trees. But in California, the trees, they are buildings high. And when I looked at that palm tree, I said that that tree is able to stand tall and strong. Because as it grew, when the wind blew, especially those of you in Florida and you have your hurricane seasons, when the wind blew, that stalk had to grow tough and strong for that tree to grow up out of the earth and stand tall. So many of these people, they're not embedded with that, and they flake and they fold because they haven't been hammered like a katana. Listen to me. So when he talks about how there are people who are the softest, who have dealt with the least adversity, that crumble when trouble strikes, that these people are better equipped, you must be mad. You must be mad. So let's continue forward with his incoherent diatribe.
And from the third world, all of a sudden they say diversity is a strength. Is it really? Is diversity a strength in Minneapolis? Is that really a strength? No. You know what is a strength? The unity we find in being an American.
Diversity is not a strength? How many of you out there have ever been in diverse situations where you learned something about somebody else and it helped to soften your heart? Throw up the number 1. Let's see. Throw up the number 1. Let's see. Because I know that going to school with people from all over the world, I have learned an appreciation. I have learned a tolerance. I have learned to open up my heart, my mind, my spirit, my psyche. When I see Asian mamas and papas out there down in Chinatown, I think about the students that I go to school with and the journey that they have gone through to become an Asian mama or papa. I think about those things. I don't feel the xenophobia or the twinges thereof that I felt before. If anything, I feel a familiarness because I see what was produced from the fruit of these diverse loins. I see that. And here comes the vote coming in. Yes, exactly. Thank you. Thank you. Let's continue going forward.
not in being Muslim or in being whatever faction or tribe that you come from. And yet people go around sloppily saying, you're a racist, you're a white supremacist. It is so destructive to our dialogue. It's destructive to us coming together as a country, and there's nothing to support it whatsoever.
The psychosocial model characterizes what are very
This person right here, his name is Julius A. Doyle, D-O-Y-L-E. He's on Instagram.
clear, cut and paste textbook examples of racism that are unambiguously clear, and yet predictable responses would be attempts to insert any kind of barrier that allows them to distance themselves from racism, even when it's their own behavior. It's never who we are. It's never where we are. We're never willing to admit that, in fact, we are racist. The racism, it exists, but it's always out there somewhere. It's always someone else's problem. It's always just out of reach, and we're totally against racism, but the racism is never where we are.
I don't like you. I think you
All
spread hate.
right.
I think you spread bigotry.
So, quick. What has he said that's racist? All of that stuff promotes the idea of white body supremacy, that there's something about the white body that is superior to other people's bodies. Let's continue. Listen to this madness here.
In fact, I even think that we should bring back, public executions on certain people. No, but think about it. I think that, and you guys should laugh, it should be public, it should be quick, it should be televised. By the way, you could fund the government
to watch it.
You could have brought to you by Coca-Cola, and no, I'm not kidding.
So, these are the same people that would bring their children to lynchings. You think that you have a higher moral compass, and you would bring your child to watch a human being be murdered? Even if you brought your child and you sitting up there eating while a dead person is hanging from the tree, and you think that you're morally superior? Please. Come on now. What are your thoughts about that clip right there? He feels that they should have public execution sponsored by companies so that people could sit around. Listen, when Kendrick said they not like us, I am learning that there's something off about these people. You know what? We're about halfway through to our dance break. So let's crisscross, let's zigzag real quick. What we're gonna do is I'm going to play some footage for you. I'm gonna play some, you know what? Let me just play one more thing. Let me play one more thing. Before we go to the footage, let me play one more thing for you. Here.
I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal. It is rational. Nobody talks like this. They live in a complete alternate universe. I think it's worth it.
So let's talk about that real quick. They never think it's going to be them. They always think it's going to be somebody else. And then when it is them, then they want to harm the somebody else's, the quote unquote somebody else's. He thinks it's worth it, and he thinks that there should be public executions. Well, you live by the gun, you die by the gun. This is what he promoted and purported. He had a legacy of racism and racist ideology with white body supremacy ideals. Like, white people in this country, people say the term white supremacy all too often. There was a book called Hood Feminism that I read in my feminist group last semester. And in the book, the author, it's a great book, by the way, the author talks about how we should use the word white body supremacy because then it registers. Because they feel that white bodies are more valuable. They'd be like, all lives matter. But seems like they think white lives matter more. If all lives matter, he wouldn't have been advocating for or saying that a place like Palestine doesn't exist. Let me see if I can find that clip real quick. If I could find that clip where he was talking to the young man about how Palestine doesn't exist. Where is that? Let's see. Hold on.
citizenry and you won't have a single gun death. That is nonsense. It's drivel.
Hold on.
But
Hold on. I got to get my sound up on another screen so that we could play this better. Let's see if we could go back and see if we could grab this and get the sound up any higher. This is the highest.
You will never live in a society when you have an armed citizenry and you won't have a single gun death. That is nonsense. It's drivel. But I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal. It is rational. Nobody talks like this. They live in a complete alternate universe.
I'm sorry, if I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
Well, that's the
you wouldn't have done that. You wouldn't have done that before.
That's not an immediate.
No, you wouldn't have done that before.
That's not who I am. That's not what I believe.
It is the reality the left has created.
You truly, in your heart of hearts, truly believe that this is a human being. This,
without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
Yes.
This is a dolphin fetus.
So let me.
Without a doubt, a dolphin fetus is a human being. This is a human fetus. Look how similar they look, but quite different. Dolphin.
You will never.
I want to find the clip where he said that Palestine is not a country.
The chair would ask that all members present.
Okay. All right. Listen, I played it in the video the other day, but where could it possibly be? Where could it possibly be? Don't worry. I have a lot of clips to show you. What we're going to do right now is we're going to jump over, and I want you to see some of these unhinged people. So Charlie Kirk gets killed, and this is how people decide that they're going to go about things. So this is Jesse Dollomore right here. He has a show on YouTube where he does news. Let's see if I could get this up here. Come on.
4900 on TikTok.
I hope when this is all over, you remember who fired first. You've tried to kill the president twice, and now you've assassinated man for talking. You don't really want to do this, okay? 400 million plus firearms in this country, and they don't belong to the left, bro.
Exactly. Listen to yourself.
If you think it's okay to murder someone because of their opinion, you get what's coming to you. You and yours.
First of all, who are you talking?
Yeah, exactly. Who are you talking to? The person who murdered Trump, the person that allegedly shot at Trump was a registered Republican. So when he started talking about you're going to get what's coming to you, who was he talking about? Like, these people, I just want you to hear and go support Jesse Dollomore's video. The name of this video is MAGA Base is Frothing at the Mouth for Violence. I want you to just hear, that's one person. Let's hear the next person. Let's hear the next person.
Was just shot in the fucking neck at Utah.
Hold on, let's go back just a little bit.
Let's move on to Wes Watson. I believe he's also from TikTok.
Charlie Kirk was just shot in the fucking neck at Utah. Utah University, somewhere in fucking Utah at one of his events. And I am directly attributing this to all these fucking media personalities and these politicians like Tim Walz getting on the fucking TV and saying, well, I sure do hope he dies today.
What?
I sure hope he dies. Y'all are the fucking reason this shit is happening, you evil motherfuckers. Everything that they say Trump is, they are. Trump's violent, they're fucking violent. Trump's hateful, they're fucking hateful.
These people are delusional.
Trump's a fascist, they're literally shooting people who don't agree with them. Who don't agree that children should be murdered in fucking droves and that men should be able to watch fucking women take a piss. And fucking grown-ass men should be able to have peeping Tom shows in front of elementary school fucking kids.
What?
So Wes here is attributing...
See, I just want you to just see And so shout out to Jesse for compiling these things, because a lot of you don't know what these folks were saying.
Something like this, items like this, incidences like this. It's not just heavy 4900 or Wes Watson 15. Here's American Flip 87 from Twitter.
This video's in regards to Charlie Kirk. And this video's for the fucking liberals. It's war, motherfuckers. We're coming for you. We're coming for you. And spare me your fucking self-righteous bullshit lectures. I don't give a fuck. We're coming for you.
Impassioned. We're at war, motherfuckers, he says, wearing his Smith & Wesson t-shirt.
Just, it's unbelievable madness. Unbelievable madness. Here's another one. Hold on.
This is what they want. We'll end with this other guy who is, this is a guy I feel.
Hold on. Let's continue forward. Oh, no. The video I want is not in here. Oh my goodness. The video I want is not in here. This woman says, either you handle this or we will. But I feel like she took her video down. Hold on.
Trump just announced that Charlie Kirk did pass. No, he didn't pass. He was fucking murdered. So here's my message to the president.
Okay, here. I was able to find it on another thing. Here. Let's see if we can get this larger. Here. I want you to just hear how unhinged these people are. Here. Listen. Here. Listen.
Well, Trump just announced that Charlie Kirk did pass. No, he didn't pass. He was fucking murdered. So here's my message to the President of the United States. I'm not going to say that I speak for everybody else or anybody else. But as a taxpaying citizen of this country who has spent years being attacked by the vile left, we want true justice. So give us the green light or handle it yourself with the military. Each and every one of them.
What?
All of them. We want public executions because you see it hasn't been freedom for all in this country over the last 5+ years. This country has been ran through by the left. We have been forced into silence or threats of our lives being taken from us. Some have actually lost their lives due to that, the latest being Charlie Kirk. So I ask, give us the green light or do it yourself. But one way or another, we aren't living with the vile left anymore. And if anybody thinks that this is going to scare us into hiding or being quiet, it just did the opposite. I do hope you handle them swiftly, because one way or another, there's no going back. There is no peace. It's over.
Okay, so, all right, listen. This is the way that they were talking. The President of the United States came out, and before there was any suspect, any motive, he came out and blamed this on the left. I implore people who are getting all of their information from one source to diversify your source of information and just sit and hear other perspectives, because you may be getting lied to. I feel disgusted that in this country, the majority of the people have decided to elect a person like Donald Trump into office who would go before our nation and claim that XYZ did something, and he has no proof that person did it. He had no proof. There's something else that I want to, oh, you know what? Let's see if I can play this for you. Hold on.
You just hated him because he had...
Hold on. Oh, you know what? Here.
If you've been anywhere near...
Let's take a look at this. I did take a screenshot and I took a screenshot so that we could blow this up. because I was like, okay, come on, let's move this over. Let's see if we can get this screenshot larger so that you could read some of the comments that these people were leaving. Democratic Party must be classified as, what does it say? As a something terror organization and their members treated accordingly. What? If Kirk getting shot is the shot heard around the country, ready for civil war, I want to fight you and you're going to get it. What? The National Guard sent to Democrats, something. Democrats lose elections, they couldn't blank. They murdered the people they were unable to whatever. They've declared war. Who is they? See, this is what I'm saying. Let's see. Charlie Kirk. Let me see if I can make it larger on here. I can. And it's better. Let me see if I can do it from the phone, because then we can. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so here. Charlie Kirk being assassinated is the American fire. It is time for a complete crackdown on the left. Every Democratic politician must be arrested and the party banned under RICO. Every libtard commentator must be shut down. Stochastic terrorism, they caused this. It's time to bring the hammer down on the left. Fox host Jesse Waters, they are at war with us, whether we want to accept it or not. They are at war with us, and what are we going to do about it? Jesse Waters, we need to find his statement. It's time for the Trump It's time for the Trump administration. Come on now, let me see the thing. To shut down, defund, and prosecute every single left organization. If Charlie Kirk dies from his injuries, his life cannot be in vain. Charlie Kirk has been shot. Enough is enough. Democrats need to be labeled a terrorist organization. Like, these people are unhinged. I just want you to see what these people are saying. So then after this, they decided to target HBCUs. Like, how did black people get involved in this conversation? Like, the whole thing is just unbelievable. The Democratic Party is a domestic terrorist organization. This is the video where Trump came out and said that, attributed this to the left, to the radicals on the left. Trump, how irresponsible of him. We're going to get up and we're going to dance right now. We get up and we dance every 35 minutes because a lot of people, they sit on these long broadcasts and we care about ourselves. I am a self-love specialist. I'm a life coach. And so we're going to come together and we're going to get up out of our seats and we are going to move our bodies. So get ready to move yours. Get ready to move yours, and let me get the music up. Let's see what we have here. Let's see what we have. Okay, this is called All Eyes on Me. Get ready to get up out your seat. All eyes on me. All right, get up out your seat. That's what I'm talking about. Get up out your seat.
eyes on me.
Keep going. We're halfway through. Oh. That was good. Oh my goodness. That was really good. Whew. Oh, that was so good. So Diane is insulting people with Down syndrome. Unbelievable. They never did anything to you. Whew. Whew. Look, my fish better not be over-seasoned dancing like a clown. Listen, child, you gotta pay attention to what you're doing over there too. Don't be shaking as you dancing. When Outkast said shake it like a salt shaker, he was not talking about over your food. And he wasn't talking about the seasoning, so yes. So there we have that. Let's get ready to hear the report about the HBCUs, right? Oh, that was so good that my heart is beating fast. If you got up and you danced, put up a number 2. Let me see, because health is wealth. And while we're here, we might as well do what we got to do to make sure that we're in the best health that we can be, right? Oh. Okay. So T-Blaze was leaning on the countertop doing push-ups. I know that's right. That's what, you know what? We can do squats and push-ups. I like to get my heart pumping fast. So, Joyce is saying, thank you. This is how I get my workout. OF is saying, why do people come on pages they don't like? You know what? We are the spring source. I realized from being... I realize that that certain people depend on us for creativity, for what's hip, what's popular. They just can't quit us. They can't leave us alone. Like, just leave us alone. Oh, look, so many people got up and moved. All right. All right, so let's listen to the reports. Oh. Let's listen to the reports. Oh, you know what? Let's go back to this one. Let's go back to this one and finish hearing what he has to say. His page's name is Concernicus.live. That's his name, Concernicus.live. Oh. Ooh, that was so good. Let me check the apples and make sure that we're up to date with the Cash Apps. If you want to send a Cash App through, it's $Tonya TKO. Because a video like this is not going to be monetized on these platforms. So if you want to support the broadcast and my courage in speaking about this when many others would not, by all means, by all means. All right. So it's essential. We'll grab that Cash App in a moment. It's essential sent $10 through, so I appreciate that. Ooh. All right, we'll come back to that in a moment. Let's take a look at this video. Here. Whew. Let's get this back up and let's hear what he has to say. All right.
The internet, since that thing that happened to Charlie Kirk, you know that in and outside of the government, everyone on the right has been calling for despicable.
Yeah.
If you've been anywhere near the internet since that thing that happened to Charlie Kirk, you know that in and outside of the government, everyone on the right has been calling for despicable acts of violence against anyone who is remotely on the left. They've been talking about starting a war. They've been talking about going to the streets and hurting people. That's all that was plastered all over my page yesterday. And lots of creators that I know were getting death threats, getting their doors kicked in, simply because they were on the left. And the president went on TV to say that the guy who did that was definitely on the left. Anyway, by all accounts, he appears to be a white Christian, cis man from a conservative household with a retired cop as a dad. He was on far-right spaces online. He references a lot of far-right stuff, you know, far-right online culture stuff, Groyper stuff. We don't know, you know, he could just be one of those incoherent, mentally ill people who do this, which we've seen a lot of, where, like, you know, maybe neither side can claim them, right? But people on the right today are either completely silent, or they went from this, which was yesterday, to this. It went from, like, we're going to annihilate you, we're going to go out on the streets and we're going to destroy everybody on the left, to, oh, well, pray for this young misunderstood man. And I hope that this demonstration...
I want you to take a look at this right here, please. Take a look at this diagram, because this pretty much sums it up. Let's pray for this soul, and it's on a sliding scale from white to tan, and then bring back the death penalty. There's a trans flag there, and then there's brown, and there's black. So unbelievable, because they were trying to say that this was a trans person who did this. If you don't believe me, I can play it for you. I can play it right now. As a matter of fact, I can jump in between videos, because they were claiming, this woman here, she was claiming, listen to this madness, listen to this.
But yesterday, Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And a man who did not need to die, who was a private citizen, not an elected official, who was murdered for his ideas and for engaging in public discourse, trying to do the peaceful thing with winning hearts and minds, trying to not stoop to their level, trying to rise above everything and do things the right way, the Christian way, the biblical way. He was assassinated and murdered.
Let me speed her up.
It seems from everything that we are learning right now, he was assassinated by a transgender, Trantifa, fascist, anti-fascist. It's funny because they become the exact thing that they claim to war against. He was murdered by one of these raging leftists. And we're at a turning point. We're at an inflection point. I don't believe that there is a comeback from this. I think that this was the first shot fired in the Civil War that we have long been expecting. And I think we're at a very perilous point in our nation's history. Because as many of you know, the average shelf life roughly of a republic such as ours is 250 years. It's been under assault since really its inception. But it started...
They tried to overthrow the damn government on January 6th. These people are saying that this is the first shot fired. They forget about the Republican who murdered 2 elected officials and was going after Tim Walz, the elected official, her husband, and the dog. And then another elected official, her husband, and then he had a list of 70 on there. But come on.
Decaying in the 1860s. With our foreign entanglements, with World War I, etc., it further began to unravel. When JFK was assassinated, Martin Luther King was assassinated in the 60s, it further started to derail. Meanwhile, it was being infiltrated by communist elements. And then, of course, we started importing people into this nation who despise our republic, who don't want anything to do with constitutional ideals, and who want to turn it into an Islamic caliphate. So we have done everything to pull apart the foundation with our own hands, right down to allowing people the safety and security of their constitutionally protected liberties being hijacked to destroy the foundation of our nation. In the words of Sir Winston Churchill, to these people, democracy is a tool to be used and afterwards broken. And so what we are facing now is the reality and the realization that we have allowed these people, by exercising their freedom of speech, to advocate for the slaughter and wholesale murder of conservatives. And they've done it. They've got a W now next to their scoreboard. They tried to kill President Trump twice.
Who tried to kill President Trump? The person who allegedly shot at him was a registered Republican. And this woman put up this video yesterday or the day before, and she still doesn't understand that the person who fired shots or allegedly fired shots at the president was a registered Republican. It's like these people have some sort of cognitive dissonance.
And I have not been a fan of President Trump in many ways. And in many things, I've had disagreements with him. And I, as anyone, and any thinking person has a right to do, don't see eye to eye with commentators all the time.
I can't listen to any more of her nonsense. She goes on and on and on. Let me just get back to this video.
To you that the only reason any of these people did this, the reason their silence is so deafening today, is because they're just looking for some Reichstag fire-esque excuse to commit unspeakable acts of violence against anyone they perceive to be on the left.
Exactly.
But of course, since most of the people who do these kind of violent actions are on their side, now they're just shutting up, they're just deleting their tweets, and they're waiting for the next one so that they can do it all over again. That's their long game. That's it. These people are just a menace on society. They want you to be hurt, they want your family to be hurt, and they're pretty shameless about it. If you've been anywhere near the internet since...
Unbelievable. I want to see what this guy's name is that Jeffrey drew so I could look up his clip where he says, oh, look, somebody wrote, this is war. Unbelievable. Talking about libs of TikTok, this is war. So Jesse Waters, that's his name, Jesse Waters. Let's take, we're going to go, I'm trying to get this back small. Okay. Let's go to the HBCU clips. Okay, here we go.
Multiple historically black colleges and universities are on lockdown today after receiving potential threats. The lockdown measures come in the wake of the assassination of Charlie Kirk. The schools included Alabama State University, Virginia State University, Hampton University in Virginia, Southern University in Louisiana, Bethune Cookman in Florida, and Clark Atlanta University in Georgia. Civil rights activist Reverend Al Sharpton is calling for an end to threats to HBCU campuses and all forms of violence. The FBI says they're taking the threat seriously, but there is no information.
So these people are foaming. They're looking for a reason to harm other people, and they think that makes them superior. They are the arbiters of violence, by and large. When these politically motivated rampages happen, we're going to look into some data in a moment. Listen to this.
We are now following breaking news about a string of threats at a number of historically black colleges and universities today. NBC's Kelly O'Donnell is following this for us. What can you tell us, Kelly?
Well, Chris, I think this is at this point in the abundance of caution phase, where universities that are a part of the HBCU system, the historically black colleges, a number of them in Virginia, also in Alabama, saying that they have received threats and therefore taking action to lock down a campus or cancel classes or send out warnings to students and to the university community. Obviously, just one day after the Charlie Kirk assassination, in an environment where we have seen a lot of gun violence and a lot of acting out of dangerous threats where citizens can be inadvertently involved in a dangerous circumstance. This is the kind of thing where universities, as they assess a situation, make a determination for what is best for their community and to try to reduce the potential for any harm. By locking down or canceling classes, it clearly reduces the amount of foot traffic. It allows authorities to follow through on any leads. We have made outreach to different kinds of law enforcement, from the federal to the state level and local communities, as well as the Department of Education. And at this point, we don't have a sense of where this is coming from or how connected it may be. But the fact that these colleges are feeling they need to take action, and in light of the timing, given yesterday's events on a college campus in Utah, there is a sense of wanting to to be prudent and to provide members of the community, students, faculty, neighbors of a campus with warning to help them make their best choices. So as we learn more, we will bring it to you. But at this point, there are no injuries. There's no acts of violence that we are aware of. This is in the category of threats and then taking prudent steps.
So they found manifestos. The woman couldn't even say HBCU. She's talking about some HBU. And she's doing the story. Nonetheless, they found manifestos threatening violence on these historically black colleges and universities. They even threatened Spelman, which is an all-girls college in the AUC. You all know that I went to Clark Atlanta. So when they announced that, when I was on campus yesterday and they announced that Clark Atlanta was targeted because of this Charlie Kirk situation, I was disgusted because I'm like, what Clark Atlanta got to do with this? What does any HBCU have to do with this? But they're just looking for a reason. They want to come in our space. They want to be up in our face. They just won't leave us alone. And I just wish that they would just go be around the people they want to be around. Just go be around your kin. Go. It's like these people, I'm not getting it. And I don't know what's going on in this country, but this is becoming far too much. Like a white man in a Republican family. Let's hear a little bit about this guy and who he was.
Trans liberals to me. Tyler Robinson and his family don't look like trans liberals to me. Tyler's family is registered Republicans. His father is a minister and former law enforcement. They have family members in the military. Oh, and Tyler's parents introduced him to weapons.
Hold on, my earpiece is dying, and I have to get a new one, but I'm trying to hear what she's saying. Testing. Let's hear.
At an early age,
Hold on.
Robinson and his family don't look like trans liberals to me. Tyler's family is registered Republicans. His father is a minister and former law enforcement. They have family members in the military. Oh, and Tyler's parents introduced him to weapons at an early age. Kylie, put up these photos individually. Here he is with his father, and you notice his father has on kind of that Patriot MAGA-coded style merch. And here he is, was raised in gun culture, shooting guns. So we knew that the person who shot Kirk would have to have experience.
Look at him as a little boy.
Here he is as a very small child with an assault rifle. This has sadly become a huge part of American culture where kids, here he is sitting down with a huge weapon. So this fits not the profile of a radical leftist, because we don't go to gun shows and take photographs with weapons. This sadly is what always comes out about these right-wing extremists. Gun culture is a huge part of it. Loneliness, radicalization online. The Pumps, what did you say, the Utah governor? All this is breaking very quickly. The Associated Press is reporting what, Pumps?
That that Tyler Robinson had become radicalized and got into politics recently and did not believe what Charlie Kirk believed, but it doesn't go into specifics.
Okay, and then here's what we know about the shooter. Call to Activism is reporting Tyler Robinson of Utah. His father is a retired sheriff. They're Mormon. They're white. He was raised with guns and shooting, and he wore a Trump costume for Halloween. And you see these same photographs again, him with his dad, and his dad with that kind of patriotic black and white American flag, all that MAGA coded hyper masculinity style merch. And you see the gun in his hands when he is a small child. And then next up is that within the MAGA movement, if somebody steps out of line, they start to intercannibalize. And 2 days before the murder of Charlie Kirk, Laura Loomer was calling out Charlie Kirk online in a since deleted tweet. She tweeted that Charlie Kirk had stabbed Trump in the back and didn't have Trump's back and all of this other stuff. She since deleted it. Now she's gone on that she's going to make a list of all the leftists and liberals and Democrats that she thinks contributed to Charlie Kirk's murder. And in fact, what contributed to it is a Republican family that teaches their children about guns at a very young age. And sadly, this has become such a part of right-wing American culture. Robinson and his family.
Wow. 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 Let's take a listen to this.
Stochastic terrorism. If people
All right, this right here, this woman is, her name is Dr. Danielle Kramer, and she's going to talk with us about stochastic terrorism. Here.
Stochastic terrorism. If people are telling you Charlie Kirk never hurt anyone, the word you're looking for is stochastic terrorism. Stochastic terrorism is when public figures use mass communication to incite violence against specific groups while maintaining plausible deniability. You demonize and dehumanize a group of people. You paint them as an existential threat. You use inflammatory, violent language. Then when someone acts on that rhetoric with actual violence, you get to step back and say, I never told anyone to do that. It's terrorism by statistical probability. You're not directing specific people to commit specific acts. You're just broadcasting hatred to millions, knowing statistically someone's going to act on it. And it works. Misogyny is on the rise, along with calls to remove women's rights. This correlates with rises in domestic violence and harassment. Studies show anti-LGBTQ rhetoric directly correlates to increased violence against queer people. When you have a platform with millions of followers and you consistently tell them that certain groups of people are an abomination or threats to children in society, some percentage of those followers will take action. The insidious part is when violence happened, Kirk got to step back and say, I didn't hurt anyone. But that's not how stochastic terrorism works. You don't need to give explicit instructions when you spent years painting a target on people's backs. He built his career on hatred disguised as Christianity, violence disguised as patriotism, and eliminationist rhetoric disguised as political discourse. So don't let anyone gaslight you into thinking his words were harmless. Words have impact, platforms have responsibilities, and hatred disguised as righteousness is still hatred. Stochastic
All
terrorism.
right. So remember the word stochastic terrorism when people say that he wasn't this or that. Remember, he said, imagine a world without Joyanne Reed, Michelle Obama, and a bunch of other black women. Just unbelievable madness. Let's take a look at a few other things that I want us to take a look at.
And let me tell you something I've not shared with anybody, but the last message that Charlie Kirk gave to me before he joined his creator in heaven was he said that we have to dismantle and take on the radical left organizations in this country that are fomenting violence. That was the last message that he sent me before that assassin stole him from all of us. And we are going to do that under President Trump's leadership. I don't care how. It could be a RICO charge, a conspiracy charge, conspiracy against the United States, insurrection, but we are going to do what it takes to dismantle the organization.
Hold on, my earbud has gone out again. This is unbelievable. Testing.
And the entities that are fomenting riots, that are doxing, that are trying to inspire terrorism, and that are committing acts of wanton violence. It has to stop. And my message is to all of the domestic terrorists in this country spreading this evil hate. You want us to live in fear? We will not live in fear, but you will live in exile. Because the power of law enforcement under President Trump's leadership will be used to find you, will be used to take away your money, take away your power, and if you've broken the law, to take away your freedom, Sean. And let me tell you something I've not shared with anybody, but the last message...
They always tell what it is that they're going to do. So one of the things that I heard is that they subpoenaed 23andMe to find anyone related to him, right? So anybody in your family that has given their DNA to 23andMe, they can locate you because of matches, right? And now they're talking about taking away people's money. And so I'm just trying to tell you, please have a plan B, because these people they're wilding out. Let's see what this is.
All about empathy and
Hold on. Why is this so low?
sympathy. I can't stand the word empathy, actually. I think empathy is a
Hold on, let's try that again. So for all of the people who are coming out and telling you that you need to have sympathy or empathy for Charlie Kirk's murder, assassination, whatever you want to call it, I want you to just come to this and play this clip right here.
All about empathy and sympathy. I can't stand the word empathy, actually. I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that does a lot of damage. All about empathy and sympathy. I can't stand the word empathy, actually. I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that does a lot of damage. All about empathy and sympathy. I can't stand the word empathy, actually.
Oh, well, he's giving you the blueprint right there. He believed in public executions. He didn't believe in empathy. And this is the moral authority right here? Please, come on.
If you were to board a United Airlines,
I ain't get the finish. Right.
If you were to board a flight with United Airlines, would you rather have a pilot that is qualified or one that is diverse? Answer the question.
That makes no sense. Why is there two different things? How is it different? When you go to American Airlines...
Because in the pursuit of diversity, you sacrifice excellence. Every time. We know this with Harvard. Right. We know this with Yale. We know this with the military. Right. Every time, every example that we pursue diversity, an institution becomes less excellent. It becomes subpar.
When you go on a plane, do you go to the pilot and ask for your credentials? Or do you believe that the airline did the right thing and hired the right? So you asked for their credentials.
Actually, I'm starting
to.
Hold on. I start to doubt it.
That was my statement.
That was my statement. Right. My statement was if you're going to go from 4% of the pilots being black to 50% of the pilots to be black, it begs the question: you are going to lower the standards. If you were to board a United Airlines,
I ain't get the finish. Right.
Listen to this. You see, so when people say he wasn't a racist, he believes that there is something inherent in black people that makes them less qualified. If anything, if you see just one type of person there, you should ask, how has the game been rigged so that what we're seeing here does not reflect the general population? He knows that we have had hundreds of years of systemic oppression and racism in this country. He knows that. Just like right now, they had a natural disaster in Afghanistan. And it is against the law for men to touch women that they're not married to. So the paramedics are unable to pull women from the rubble. So let me tell you what happened. I believe there was an earthquake right now in Afghanistan. It happened this week. How many people have heard that? It's like this news is on the cycle everywhere, right? So in Afghanistan, the women were running out of their house and they were forced to run back in to grab their hijab. When they ran back in, the building collapsed. And when the paramedics got there, they could not touch the women to pull them from the rubble. Then on top of that, women are not allowed to go to medical school. So they're not allowed to go to school. And so they cannot become paramedics themselves. So the women just had to lay there under piles of rock. Is it that in Afghanistan, women are not qualified to become paramedics, that there's something defunct about women and womanness that would stop them from becoming paramedics? Or are there systems in place that are stopping the women from being able to pursue medical degrees so that they can help women? So without female doctors, how will women go to the doctor? Like, this is what I'm saying. This just doesn't make any sense. So in his world, he feels okay with there being a permanent underclass of people who the decision makers are choosing other people who look like them. And in his mind, opening up to find other qualified people whom are diverse. See, part of the issue, right? Part of the issue with Kirk is that Kirk was a 31-year-old man preying on undergraduate students who are not experts in speaking on these points. And then he would conflate, he would lie, he would come up with false statistics. Let me show you how he would just speak fake data. Listen to this. Hold on.
Yes. Let
me go back. Testing. I got to get my thing fixed. I really do. Testing. Test. Here we go.
Black Americans are about 13 to 14% of the population.
Yes,
about half of all prisoners are black.
Exactly.
So blacks commit more crimes than whites do. They commit more murders, they commit more arsons, they commit more kidnappings. For example, blacks are 13% of the population and they commit 58% of all the murders.
Okay, let's talk about it. These are obviously racist claims, but I will respond to them as if Charlie Kirk were a reasonable person.
Black Americans are about 13 to 14% of the population.
Yes,
about half of all prisoners are black.
Wrong. Just 38% of America's prison population is black. That's according to the U.S. government. But it makes
Okay, this young man's name is Mr. Number 2 Slippery YX. I don't know if that's his page or not, but this is the page that I'm seeing this on. I wanted to add this in here because this was one thing that I didn't hear him specifically say in his video, right? The amount of people serving time in jail who are picked up by the police does not mean that that's representative of these people committing more crimes. What is it about the roundup process that makes the people who are rounding up choose to round up more black people, to prosecute them, to put them in jail? We all know about, if you've heard the name Brock Turner, throw up a 3. Brock Turner was the guy who was sexually assaulting a woman behind a dumpster. He was caught. People saw him and beat him off of the unconscious woman. He got 6 months in prison. Why? Because the good old boy judge said that he didn't feel that the boy's whole life should be ruined for a few moments of fun. Even though that few moments of his fun showed the sick, depraved mind that this man had. So they are not policing these communities as heavily. I remember when I was in my 20s, I went to this party in Midtown Manhattan. And at the party, there was a guy who was connected in politics. Right? He was a college student, but he was connected in politics. He was someone's son, right? At this party, now the party was wild and filled with foolishness. Like, these people have a facade over people's eyes. Like, you don't really know what's going on behind the doors in some of these places. Well, nonetheless, at this party, so I was hired. Someone that I knew was a bartender, and they needed more than one person to tend bars at the party, so I came along, right? At this party, they had trays of cocaine, trays mounted, like, you ever saw Scarface? They had trays, mountains of cocaina. I don't want to say the words, on these platforms we get, There were trays of it passing around, and people were just doing whatever it is that they were doing. All of that, right? And woo! And all of that, dancing around and acting the damn fool. I saw this SHIT. I said, I got to get the hell up out of here, right? Not only that, it was getting close to the top of a particular hour. And they had pickles inside these plastic bags that were on ice in the bartender's area, right? And they came and got the pickles, and they were like, ladies, you can go on and leave now because things are about to get a little interesting, right? The son, the politically connected young man, I don't want to say too much, right? I'll just say he was a fencer, right? He was a fencer. This mother effer took off all his damn clothes. And he was getting into these I'll never forget it. I will never forget it. He was getting into these fencing stances. And I don't know nothing about fencing because he was down low. And in these, he was screaming out some phrases and some terms. And he was going forward and he was going backwards. And he was down low in a squat, y'all. He was down low. And he was like inching forward, inching backwards. And he was screaming out these terms. I don't know what the terms were, but I figured people in his inner circle who may do fencing as well know these terms. But this mother effer was butt, booty, white skin, naked, I'm telling you, with a little pee-pee flapping around. Like, if you've ever seen those old statues of David with the little thing up in the front. It was wiggling around in the little front, and he was doing his little thing. And then so when they came and got the pickles, right, from the ice, and they were like, ladies, you know, you can go on and you know, you could get paid and go on and head out, right? I was like, yeah, it's time for us to damn go, right? I was like, yeah, it's time for us to go, because the man was already naked, and they were saying they were going to do some stuff with the pickles that was not, you know, copacetic. I don't know what they was going to do, but nonetheless, right? When I got out of there, like I ran out of there, right? All this cocaine, all this stuff, naked pickles, all this stuff, right? And I was like, so I'm from the Bronx. Like I grew up in the Bronx, right? And so I'm used to the police sirens, the lights, all this stuff, right? When I was like, the police are gonna bust in here at any moment. I was like, there's shit going down in here. I was like, the police are gonna bust in. I was like, I can get the F up out of here. I get outside, right? It was quiet as a mother effer. When I tell you it was, because it was ruckus up there. I thought the police were gonna burst in at any moment. When I got downstairs and outside, it was like the lights were twinkling. The breeze was cool and blowing. Wasn't a police officer in sight. Not a car, not a nothing, right? I was so distraught, I took a cab all the way back home from downtown. As I got closer, so you go from downtown Manhattan, then you get up to Harlem, then you cross over to the Bronx, then from the Bronx there's Queens, right? As we started going further and further uptown, that's when you started hearing the damn sirens. I said, mother effers, the drugs is down there. They got it out on a tray in the open. I'm like, you up here with your sirens flashing, there's a tray of coke down there. And then the further I got up into the Bronx, the more lights I heard, the more cars driving past, all of this. And I said, wow, wasn't a car downtown, none, but multiple sirens all over the place starting. They could have had a bunch of people arrested in that apartment, but no, they didn't get arrested, did they? None of them. I can imagine that boy is in politics right now, that he's a grown man now, and that he's in politics somewhere. That's why I don't want to say too much, because I'm sure he is, because he had the complexion for the connection. So when they start talking about, oh, you demographic were arrested, so that means you do more crimes. No. More of them were rounded up. Why? Why were they targeted for the roundup? Why were other people not targeted? Data shows that across the board, from race to race, that people smoke weed at the same rate. But there were more black people incarcerated for it than anyone else. Why? Why and how? But these are the sophisticated questions that are too nuanced. But a person like Charlie Kirk is not going to capable minds. He's going and he's pushing his talking points to people who don't have the ability to refute it. Listen, y'all laughing about these pickles. I did not know what those pickles were going to be used for. And to this day, I don't want to effing know. I don't want to know. All right, so if we're going to let's continue going forward. Somebody said he's in love with the cocoa. Lord have mercy. Let's keep going forward.
You wonder why Charlie feels the need to add an additional 12% to the black prison population. Could it be because his bigoted talking points only work if he exaggerates them? If Charlie were actually looking for the race that makes up half the prison population in the US, he'd look no further than white people at 57%.
Exactly. So blacks commit more crimes than whites do.
Wrong. The word so is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence.
Exactly. So blacks commit more crimes.
He's saying so, as in therefore, as in one could conclude, but Charlie Charlie knows he's lying. Even if he hadn't just lied about the black prison population, Charlie is smart enough to know that correlation does not equal causation, but he's hoping that you don't know that. So he deploys the word "so" to make you think he's coming to an obvious conclusion.
So blacks.
Instead, he's making an illogical, racist leap. Charlie knows that we don't have usable data about who commits crimes. It's impossible to have that data since so many crimes go both unreported and or unsolved. Charlie knows that we only have data about arrests.
Black Americans, about 13 to 14% of the population.
All right. So that's interesting. Let's continue. Oh, what's this? No video? Oh. Let's see what this is.
For 33 hours.
Listen.
You
know what this is right here? So this is the governor. This is the governor of Utah. And the governor of Utah was hoping that the killer was a foreigner. Like, you can't make this stuff up. The man said this out of his own daggone mouth. Listen to this. Listen to this. And Angel is saying, dumb, you turn a 10-second conversation into a 5-minute conversation, literally. You know what I want you to do? I want you to take any one of my videos and take any one of my talking points and break it down and see whether or not I come to you and I say, oh no, those are my words, but see whether or not, take any of them, please. He said it. He said that these people, that Michelle Obama, Ketanji, Joy Reid, that they were DEI hires, that they were affirmative action hires, and that we can imagine a world without them. That's a dog whistle right there. Sir, please don't get yourself blocked because we haven't had a block party all broadcast long, but you could get it. You must not know how I get down around here. Here go Cosmic. Charlie Kirk didn't have any hatred for anyone. Cultist liberals spreading lies again. Yeah, liberals are the cult, or you who's not even making sense. You're giving a straw man argument. He didn't have any quote unquote hate. Okay, but he did have bias, and he did have prejudice. He did. He spoke racist, eugenicist talking points. He did. So I don't need him to hate. He can just speak his talking points to the people out there who do hate as he talks specifically. You know what? Here, I can play the video for you again for the latecomers. Let's play the video for you because it seems like you don't know that your boy was a racist. And I'm telling you, he was a racist. And there are people who are pretending as if a racist is some boogeyman who's out there. Many of you have racist beliefs. That's why you feel the need to come and try to correct a black woman. Listen to this. I want you to hear from his own mouth.
Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called the racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously.
He goes on and on. Go back to the front of the video if you need to see that full clip. What is it about black women that lack the brain processing power? What is it about being black that would make him feel that there's something inherently inferior about blackness? And the sad part about it is that many of you believe that too. That's why it wasn't a deal breaker for you that he was racist. You could just ignore all of that. Oh, you got to listen to the whole clip. How much more of this racist motherfucking rhetoric do you feel that I need to goddamn listen to? Huh? How much more do you think I need to fucking listen to know that this man didn't like people who look like me? Oh, come on now. Come on now. Cosmic is saying he wasn't, but you just want him to be. Let me do this for you. Let me do this for you. Let me make sure that your comments never see the light of day on this broadcast. Biatch! No. Hey, listen. Get up out your seats. Tell them no, no, no. Hey.
You've been trying to cater to all the needs.
Hey.
You've been feeling guilty for so long. Maybe then our friends stay our enemies. But you tell them yes, tell them get lost. Cause every time you go and ask for help, they say sorry but I'm busy. So you end up doing it yourself. Hold up, baby, don't take it. Friendship if they just fake it. You don't need to put up with their bullshit.
Tell them what? Tell them.
Hold up, baby, don't stress it. It ain't what you want. You don't need to put up with their bullshit.
Tell them what? Tell them no, 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 no.
They don't have respect for your boundaries. All you hit too close to the edge now. Only thing they got is toxicity. You need a cleanse, feel it out. You got the facts, but they ain't got yours. You've done enough, but this ain't no more. You've been a good friend down to the core. Hold up, baby, don't take it. It ain't friendship if they just fake it. You don't need to put up with their bullshit. Tell them no, 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 no. Hold up, baby, don't stress it. It ain't worth it, ain't want this it. You don't need to put up with their
Tell them what?
Tell
Tell
them
them
no, 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 no. Girl, it's time to put yourself first. You ain't got the love you did. Stop that screaming out the way.
Tell them no.
Don't let anyone get you down. Stand up straight and keep your head high. Saying it out loud. No, 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 no. Yeah. Tell them no, 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 no. Hold up, baby, don't take it. Friendship if they just fake it. You don't need to put up with their bullshit.
Tell them what? Tell them
no, no, no,
no.
no, 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 no. Hold up, baby, don't stress it. It ain't worth it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Put up with their bullshit.
Woo!
Tell them no, no,
Woo!
hey. Baby, don't take it.
Woo!
It ain't friendship if they
That was a good one.
You don't need to put
Oh.
up with their bullshit.
Tell them.
No, 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 no.
Woo!
Hold up, baby, don't stress it.
Hey.
Worth it, ain't want
Woo.
this it. You don't need
That was a good one.
their bullshit. No, 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 no.
Hey.
No, no, no.
Hey. Hey. Whoo. All right. Man, that was so good. That was so good. All right, let's check our apples. Oh, that was so good. If you got up and danced, let me see the number 2. Oh, because that was really good right there. That was really good. All right. Whew. Uh-oh. I can't see it. I can't see it on here. Let's see. Where is my... Oh, here it is. It's to the side. All right, there we go. All right. Oh, my goodness. Let me make it back small. All right. So we got It's Essential 2 that says, been away, but I'm back, sis. Welcome back, sis. And Jonathan says, good afternoon, Tonya. Sending love to you. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you. Who's Johnny? She said, and smiled as she looked my way. Who's Johnny? All right, so as we are going on, let's hear the Utah governor who hoped and prayed that the person who killed Charlie Kirk was a foreigner. Like, come on now. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. And It's Kucha says, is that dance completely necessary unless it's to release the evil that man and the evil he has perpetrated on our society and young impressionable people? The dance is necessary. You feel better about after that dance, don't you? We all feel good. So yes, the dance was necessary. It definitely was. All right, let's get back to this right here. Oh, there we go. There we go. This is the governor of Utah. Okay. Whew. Okay, so a bunch of people did get up and dance. I guess because it wasn't an official dance break, maybe people didn't get up. But if you see me dance, get up and dance. Get up and dance, okay? Here we go.
For 33 hours, I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I had hoped for. For 33 hours,
He was praying that the person was a foreigner. There's more to that, but we're going to keep going on. Here's Charlie Kirk's wife. For those of you
evildoers,
this is Charlie Kirk's wife right here. She knew her husband was a racist. She supported his ideals. This was not a long-suffering woman hiding at home and her man was out there speaking some foreign points and she doesn't know how he became so radical. But this is his wife.
Responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done. They killed Charlie because he preached a message of patriotism, faith, and of God's merciful love.
Mercy.
But they should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea.
Ciao.
You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country. In this world, you have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry. To everyone listening tonight across America, the movement my husband built will not die. It won't. I refuse to let that happen. It will not die. All of us will refuse to let that happen. No one will ever forget my husband's name, and I will make sure of it. Evildoers.
Yeah, so that's his wife.
How do you feel about the Senate? The Senate is technically DEI in a certain sense for like small states.
Like Rhode Island and Hawaii.
I'm giving you an example. California, I get less of a vote than someone who exists in Wyoming. We're giving people in Wyoming more say than they necessarily should, given that they're one individual. So why do you believe in DEI as it relates to how our government is set up? You don't believe in DEI in terms of allowing for people who are black or who are women to be in positions of power that they have not been allowed in, historically speaking.
So your argument is that the U.S. Senate is a DEI? I gotta be honest, I've never heard that argument, but I think it's a little silly.
How is it silly? Argue against it instead of just saying it's silly.
Well,
under your definition,
well,
why is it not DEI?
Because it's not based on race. It's colorblind. It's not that, oh, we get white
again,
states
DEI
more,
is not
black
only
states
based on
more.
race.
Hold on a second.
Diversity for country, diversity for rural, equity for
Hold on a
rural,
second.
and inclusion of
So,
rural.
well, that's an interesting-
DEI.
that's an
You
interesting
think DEI is only
diversity.
race
Let
because
me ask you a
you
question.
associate it with Kamala Harris.
Is there a single instance in corporate America where DEI is implemented where diversity means anything other than skin color diversity?
Yes.
So diversity.
No, it's not about viewpoint.
Let me just say this. Who were the biggest recipients of affirmative action? Who were the biggest recipients of DEI hires? It's white women. White women. So this guy, he got destroyed. His argument got destroyed by this young boy who knew what he was talking about. Listen.
Women.
What?
You have to move the goalpost a little bit because you got destroyed there.
Woo!
How do you feel about the Senate? The Senate is technically DEI in a certain sense.
Listen, he got rocked. That young man rocked the boat on him right there because Charlie is he's pushing his racist talking points. He doesn't know. Let's jump back over to Tickety Tuckety and let's take a look at here. So we looked at that. Let's take a look at this. Here, hold on. And you know what? I'm not going to let Charlie Kirk, some of these ignorant people who are repping the right, I'm not going to let them harden my heart towards all white people. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to judge people on a case by case basis. I will see, patterns, historical patterns from the group, but on an individual basis, like this woman right here, I believe she's white and she's talking some damn truth. So don't let people like that harden you against all people.
You just hated him because he had a different opinion. The left isn't tolerant of different opinions anymore. Let's talk about why this framing is completely wrong and what people actually mean when they say things like misogyny or racism isn't an opinion. There's a meaningful difference between actual opinions and harmful ideologies disguised as opinion. Real opinions are things like, I hate fish, but you like it, or given this economic data, I think we should pursue policy A over policy B. But when someone consistently spreads misinformation or promotes rhetoric that dehumanizes a group, that's not the same as having a different taste in music. The "it's just an opinion" framing serves to deflect criticism by treating all statements as equally valid preferences. It's a rhetorical move that reframes criticism of harmful ideology as mere intolerance of a different opinion, making the criticism seem unreasonable. But things like misogyny function as an ideology. It's a system of beliefs about gender hierarchy, women's inferiority, and how society should be organized around those beliefs. Individual opinions then flow from that ideological framework. So when someone expresses an opinion about women's rights, equality, and reproductive freedom, that opinion is filtered through all of these things. The distinction matters because when people criticize misogynistic or racist or homophobic opinions, we're not just disagreeing with personal preferences. We're identifying how a harmful ideological framework is manifesting in specific statements. So yeah, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but that doesn't make all opinions equally valid, harmless, or immune to criticism, especially when those opinions are rooted in ideologies that have caused real harm to real people. So no, people didn't hate him for having a different opinion. They criticized him for promoting hateful ideology. There's a difference, and it matters. You just hated him because he had a different opinion. The left
Thank
isn't
you.
tolerant of different opinions anymore.
Her name is Dr. Danielle Kramer. She's at In Bed with Danielle. So yes, that is, I thought that was important for us to hear and see.
In this act of hideous, murderous violence, and why? Up to and including Donald Trump's comments.
He's a martyr for truth and freedom.
Now, it seems to me highly likely that if and when they identify the killer and explore his motives, the motive is going to have been in large part informed by what Charlie Kirk stood for. But surely, again, it's one of those mornings where I wonder whether I'm going mad. Surely you wait until you're sure before you actually draw conclusions about what has motivated this murder. Surely you need to know why it was undertaken before you can make comments about martyrdom or truth or freedom or free speech, or indeed even try and turn it into some opportunity to attack the left. I really did presume that they knew who had undertaken this act of hideous murder.
Yep, exactly. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. There was something else I wanted you to see. Where is it? I want to make sure that, hold on. Oh, I wanted you all to see how the people in England, so they had a moment of silence in the United States Senate floor, a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk, and then they wanted to start praying out loud, right? And the people objected to the prayer out loud. I just feel like this country is really kind of tiptoeing a very dangerous line where they feel that it's okay for certain religious remarks to be on the Senate floor, but not others. Do they think that it would be okay for a Muslim or anybody else to pray on the Senate floor? Just unbelievable. Let me see.
The killing of Charlie Kirk unfold. Hundreds of people had gathered to hear the right-wing activists.
Yeah. Let's find the... Give me 1 second. I need to pull something up. Great to see you too. Great to see you too. So the thing is that a lot of people have now been deleting their stuff now that it's been found out that a right-wing or a person born in a right-wing family who was a gun enthusiast was responsible. Okay, here we go. Oh,
radicals on the right as well.
Hold on.
Well, we have radicals on the left. People are watching all of these videos and cheering.
Radical because they don't want to see crime. They don't.
Oh, they deleted the video. They deleted it. Ah! I'm going to search for it because it's out there. Hold on. Charlie Kirk. Damn it. You know what? I reacted to this the other day because it was actually in my other video. Yeah. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the video that I put up, and I am going to pull the content from that video because the person took down the video. Wow. Or it was taken down. Let's see. Wow. Oh, YouTube didn't want to put my thumbnail up. Okay, let me get my thumbnail back up then, since I didn't know that YouTube had removed my thumbnail. I see how y'all doing it. Don't worry, I got you. I just put it back up. And I'm turning on the monetization. This is unbelievable. There we go. Unbelievable. All right, so very interesting. Very interesting. All right, let me go back to the video. Yeah, exactly. So they start pulling down their stuff as soon as things are revealed. But you know what? That's all right. Here. So let me make sure that this is okay. Here. All right. So this is my video from the other day. People are speculating about the professionalism of the hit. I just want to show you all some things that I've seen from him because I'm not really fully aware of who he is and what he did. And some of the things that I've found are quite concerning. And there's a lot to be said about this, but I'm going to play some videos for you all. Here,
youth groups in recent years.
The side that believes in freedom of speech is the side that I believe is on the right side of history. Yeah. Has there been an instance, guys, where a liberal has had an open mic on campus where conservative...
Here, this is the video I want you all to see right here, where he said he does not believe that there's a place called Palestine. It was very strange. Like, what? Here, let's see. Where do we begin? Let's play some of Kirk's words himself so that you could hear the types of things that he used to say to people.
I don't think the place exists.
What?
Because it doesn't. It's called Judea and Samaria. It's not called Palestine. Show me where it is. It's a non-existent place.
Materially insane to think that 1 in 5 American women will be raped in their life.
It is. I agree.
No, meaning that they're lying about being raped, that they're lying about being sexually assaulted.
You believe that people lie about being
all the time.
Young men don't like taking orders from women. I'm sorry. It's just a fact of life. The biggest thing is this. More young women need to get married at a younger age and start having kids. The single woman issue is one of the biggest issues faced in a civilization.
I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal. It is rational. Nobody talks like this. They live in a complete alternate universe.
First, so we're walking outside and he interlocks.
Okay, so all right, so those are some of the things that I wanted you to see. There's another video from Kramer that I want you to see. Let me see where I may have it. Let's see.
I'm seeing a lot of right-wing voices claim.
All right, let's take a look at this. And this may be one of the last videos that we play, and then we're going to get out of here because I'm hungry. I have a lot of reading to do for tomorrow. I have a lot of stuff to do. You all know that I'm in grad school for psychology right now, and there's something, I feel like people who go to an Ivy League school, like only we can really understand the tremendous level of work that is impeding upon us each week. I don't think impeding is the right word, but my brain is half fried right now. But there's a lot of work. There's a lot of work. So when a person says that affirmative action got them in the door, let me tell you, ain't nobody playing with you at these schools. Ain't no favoritism. Ain't no none of that. You still gonna have to do all the work. All the work. And the work is no joke. But nonetheless, I just don't understand why they don't want to be in diverse groups of people that are more equitable and inclusive. When somebody says that they're against DEI, ask them to spell it out for you. Ask them to go word by word. Diversity, that means that they are for a lack of diversity. They're for one race, one person. They don't want diversity. They want one point of view. Mono viewed, right? Inclusion, or rather equity, so that they don't want things to be equitable. They want them to be unfair. Inclusion, they don't want to be inclusive. They want to be exclusive, exclusionary. They want to exclude people. They don't want it to be equitable, and they want it to be mono-raced, mono-religion. Like, if you're against DEI, I don't understand. It's like, it's very bizarre. It's very bizarre. But nonetheless, let's keep going forward.
I'm seeing a lot of right-wing voices claiming that anything short of complete veneration equals celebrating someone's unaliving, while also claiming that the left is extremely violent. The responses illustrate some larger patterns we see in right-wing politics, because this isn't just about anger, it's about a fundamental inability to process nuance.
Listen.
Studies show that people with lower emotional intelligence are significantly more likely to have right-wing political views. Being able to hold two truths at once, like violence is wrong and I don't feel sad about this particular person, requires sophisticated emotional processing. When you lack that capacity, everything becomes black and white. You're either grieving or celebrating. The inability to understand that I can oppose violence and not feel grief is not a moral failing on our part, it's an emotional intelligence gap on theirs. Now let's talk about who's actually violent. Studies show far-right groups are responsible for significantly more political violence than far-left groups. And when right-wing extremists do attack, they typically have higher victim counts. Not to mention, right-wing men are also more violent in the home, so all this finger-pointing about violence is just projecting. Finally, it's not just about who commits violence, it's also about who endorses it. Multiple polls have shown that Republicans are much more likely to say political violence is acceptable. A 2021 survey found nearly 40% of Republicans support taking violent political action, compared to just 17% of Democrats.
You hear that?
People on the left are saying, look, violence is bad, I don't support this, and also, I'm not sad. And the right's violent response to that is proving our point about emotional intelligence, critical thinking, and who actually has a violence problem in this country. I'm seeing
all right, you heard it for yourself. You heard it for yourself. And how many of you are aware that Trump is now downplaying domestic violence? It's very bizarre. Like, I don't understand what has gotten into these people. Let me just Google this real quick. All right, Trump condones domestic violence. Let's see. Okay, so just take a look at it yourself. Oh, let me see if I can scroll past this madness. I just want to find the tweet. I want to find the tweet. I don't want a whole page full of stuff. Let me go to images then. Trump suggests that domestic violence isn't a crime. He posited that, a little argument between, or little something. Hold on. Let's see what this is right here. Let's see.
Remarks by President Trump today catching the eye of New York State. The president, while speaking at an event at the Museum of the Bible, touted that Washington, D.C. was now safe after his federal takeover of the Capitol's law enforcement. Crime had already been trending down prior to that move, but he added he believes that if domestic violence wasn't counted as a crime, crime would be down 100%.
It's more than 87%, virtually nothing, and much lesser things that take place in the home they call crime. You know, they'll do anything they can to find something. If a man has a little fight with the wife, they say this was a crime, see? So now I can't claim 100%, but we are a safe city.
New York State's Office for the Prevention of Domestic Violence issuing this statement in response, saying in part that, quote, President Trump's remarks suggesting domestic violence crimes are lesser than others and therefore should not be included in crime statistics are dangerous and an insult to every victim, survivor, and all those who work tirelessly to protect and serve them. The comments come as a federal appeals court in New York has upheld a civil jury's finding that President Donald Trump must pay more than $83 million to E. Jean Carroll, a longtime advice columnist, after she accused him of rape. According to the Second Circuit Court of Appeals, the high-dollar decision was reasonable due to the evidence that was presented in court. The penalty came after that same jury found Trump defamed her a second time within a few years. A jury found him liable for sexual abuse, not rape, back in 2023. The president then was forced to pay $5 million for defaming her over the allegations. According to Trump, the magazine writer made up the story in order to help boost book sales, but obviously he was found guilty.
Oh my goodness, I had not seen that video before. That is wild. Oh my goodness, like this man is unhinged. I don't know how I can forgive the people in our country for voting this man into office. I don't understand what on earth is going on. Mind you, I believe a few of his wives have accused him of physical violence against them. It may have been Ivana, or even Marla Maples. One of them wrote a book. I believe a few of them have claimed that he was physically violent towards them. One woman said that he beat her, dragged her up the stairs, and then R-worded her. Like, this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. I don't even know what else to say after all of that. Let me look and see if there's any videos left that I have not covered. Is there anything that you feel that I should have covered, right? Oh, I don't even know what, I don't even know what to say. Listen, let's go on and get out of here because I have to read and get ready for tomorrow and Monday, and I'm already behind the 8 ball, so I got to get my work together and do all of that. So let's hear what your self-love lesson is from all of this. I'm stunned. Like that last thing kind of threw me for a loop because I'm like, why would he feel that? Well, you know. It's a good night. All right. Let's get these self-love lessons together. For the self-love lesson, I want you to type SLL, and then I want you to tell me what you've learned about loving yourself more from today's broadcast. And I want you to, the self-love lesson has to be constructed in a certain way to be maximum effective, right? It needs to be stated from the I, me. It needs to be stated from the positive affirmative, so no words like don't, not, never, and any of that. And it needs to just those main things. So if you state those 3 things. Positive affirmative, I, me, and don't have words like don't, not, never, etc. She accused him of it, her also, and the first wife. Wow. So all of his wives have accused him of SA, except for Melania, who's still married to him, and we don't see her at appearances with him. Listen. SLL, focus on myself. I know that's right. I know that's right. Let's see what these self-love lessons are. DEI is not free stuff. It is given everyone an opportunity to be considered, those who may not historically. Exactly. Thank you. So let's see these self-love lessons, because that's the reason why we do these videos. We do these videos so that as you're watching, you can be thinking about yourself and in what new way you can love yourself from what it is that we are covering in today's video. Love self first. Yes, yes, yes. I can tell you all my self-love lesson from today's video is calling a thing a thing. I have the courage to stand up and call an obvious thing a thing and show evidence thereof unabashedly. Oh, that's a negative word, unabashed. Proudly call a thing a thing. That's my self-love lesson. To stand in my truth and in my power. Speak truth to power. My self-love lesson is about honoring myself and what it is that I know to be true. People can say what it is that they want to say. I will stand in my truth and speak it. That's my self-love. I love myself enough to speak truth. That's my self-love lesson. Self-love lesson. In the geopolitical climate, I will be careful of my surroundings at all times. Okay, I'll allow it. I'll allow it, even though I wonder where the positive affirmative is in there. I will continue to focus on my small blessings. I see the word not, so I will respond to things and people who serve me. So let's just take out the word not and only talk about what we do want, okay? All right, let's see. I will focus on beneficial and healthy ideology. Stay in my truth. So Joyce, you and I have similar self-love lessons. So Gloria, that person's comments are not showing up on my screen. What they are doing is they are boosting they're boosting the, go ahead and like the video, comment on the video, thumbs up the video, share the video, because that person who you're saying is a troll, they are boosting my comment ratio. So that's why I didn't block them. I'm letting them boost the comment ratio. So you don't have to respond to them, because as you see, they are blocked from their comments showing up on the broadcast. So no need to even address them. Just let them continue to boost the comment ratio, because people like that, you block them and then they come back because they're obsessed. They see all this melanin and all this glow and happiness happening over here, and they just can't quit us. This is why they come and find us wherever it is that we are, instead of just leaving us the hell alone. Leave us alone. Go be with the people you want to be with, but they can't. I love myself enough to mind my business. Okay. My self-love lesson is to boost up more creators, activists who are still screaming for them to release the e-files. Okay, I see a lot of words, never, not, and all that other stuff. Let's talk about what we do want, okay? I stay aware and mindful, embracing truth and clarity to support peace in society and contribute to a better world. Oh, I love that. I love that. I will always speak truth to power. Go ahead, Jonathan. Are you the Jonathan who sent the apple through? Let me check and see if there are any other apples. Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I will continue to do my own research and think for myself. Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So on that note, let's go ahead and dance like nobody's watching. Let's go ahead and do that. All right. Listen, I love you all. I will see you all in the next video. Okay. So go ahead and don't care what you came from. Listen, I don't know who you're arguing with, but you have gotten your comments taken off of the screen. Wait, hold on. Before we start dancing, hold on. Somebody is saying Tonya, can I get some encouraging words? I'm taking 5 classes and trying to get into a program, and you're afraid that you won't make it? Or it went by too fast, so I didn't see the whole thing. However, I will say this, right? I will say this. Imagine yourself there. Imagine yourself with a book pack on. Imagine yourself looking up at the screen, surrounded by other students all around you. Imagine yourself going up after class, telling the professor how much you enjoyed the lecture. Imagine yourself carrying books, opening books. Imagine yourself up late at night studying, child, because that's what it's going to look like, child. That's what it's going to look like. Imagine yourself there. Start, you know what? The school that you want to get into, as a matter of fact, go to all of the schools and buy a t-shirt. When I was applying to Ivy Leagues, let me show you my sweatshirts. Let me show you my sweatshirts. Where's my sweatshirts? Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. When I was applying, I got my sweatshirt. You all saw me with the sweatshirts in the videos. I had the sweatshirt. I imagined myself. Because listen, I had a few strikes against me because I'd never had a full-time job, so I didn't have references that could refer me, and so I had to be really creative. Like, you know what I did do? Let me tell you. I got some of your comments. Hand to God. Like the comments where you all have written to me and said, Tonya, you changed my life. Tonya, the work that you're doing is so important. I compiled a bunch of those and I had it as an addendum. Let me tell you, this is what I did. If I'm lying, I'm frying. I compiled a bunch of comments from you all. Like the comments that really, like, you know how some people, they promote all the negative comments? I saved the comments that you all are like, were you writing me letters, and I saved those. I had comments from a span, and I put them together and I sent that in with my application, and I made it in. And listen, imagine yourself there. Imagine yourself in the cafeteria holding your lunch or bringing your lunch into school. Imagine go online, look at pictures of the university. Go to like one of these places that print pictures in color. Print it and put it up on a board. And as you're getting ready to go to sleep at night, and when you wake up in the morning, just open your eyes and just see yourself walking among. You see, I feel like I'm doing too much. I feel like I'm doing and saying too much, but I'm going to show you all something, right? I'm going to show you all something. So when I was thinking, so I did this thing called Mind Movie in the beginning of the year, right? And what I did was you all came together behind the scenes with me, and I made a mind movie, right? I'm going to show you all some of the scenes from my mind movie. And if you want to be a part of my mind movie, just make sure that you're on my mailing list, because I'm going to announce it again this year, because the one that I did last year was just so beautiful, right? So hold on. I'm going to show you all a little bit of my mind movie, right? Hold on. Okay, so let me show you all a little bit of my mind movie, okay? Why is it not showing on the screen? Am I still connected? I must still be connected. Hold on. Oh, here. Why is it not on the screen? Hold on. Oh, here it is. Okay. So, I was looking. Oh, there's our dance thing. So it's time for us to get out of here. But this was like, this is from my Mind movie. I took pictures of the type of university that I felt myself at, right? Look. This is so personal right here. And so like this is like the type of stuff. So I put it to music. I had the music and the stuff moving in the background. Look. And so I had AI like create images. I look, there was a bunch of us. This is the retreat that I'm planning. So I had like different images together and I put it on music and I would watch this every morning. Look at this is supposedly me in front of some cameras with my hair short, but little did I know I'd be in school and not have enough time to really even be doing my hair so that I would have an inch of new growth on the top. But you know, that's neither here nor there. And this is me at a book signing. And at least the AI created a little bun on top. And this is me with like my CrossFit gym at home, right? And then it gets into some other personal stuff. You know, I don't want to show you all everything in the public because there's some personal stuff in there. But this is like I want a home gym. I want like all of this stuff. So go get yourself a picture, put it up on the wall, stare at it as you're going to sleep, as you're waking up, think it, get the shirt to the places, wear these shirts, see what feels right, get yourself a book bag. Cause you listen. There's a lot, y'all. There's a lot. So there's a lot, like, oh my goodness. I could show you all so much stuff, right? It's like, I'll show you all a little bit more, a little tiny bit more, right? And this was my gym. This is me because I really wanted to learn how to do a pull-up this year, right? This is me with my fresh fruits and vegetables. And this is me I want to be real strong. This is me. I really wanted my heart healed this year. I was really dealing with, some of you know what it is that I went through. I talked with you all about that. The heartache that I felt from my father and I relationship and where that went. I'm going to be very honest with you all. And I really wanted to heal my heart from that this year. So that was one of the things that I wanted to heal. This is me. Reading, exploring, signing autographs at my book. So there's a lot in there. Look for the notice for when I do the Mind movie for next year. But there's a lot of stuff in there. But yeah, only you know. And look, keep going forward. That's all I'm gonna say. But on that note, let's go ahead and get out of here. All right, let's go ahead and get out of here. I will see you all on the next video. All right, listen. I can feel your heartbeat. Okay. All right, listen, I will see you all in the next video, y'all. Hey! Look at my belly and all. Listen, I ain't ashamed. Don't be like what's her name, Kelly Price, and be ashamed. Listen. Hey! I'll see you all in the next video. I'll see you all. Woo! Come on, belly. Go, belly. Do your thing. Hey. Woo! say lastly, before I jump out of here, the first time I applied to grad school, I didn't get in. Well, the very, very first time I applied to grad school, I didn't get in. The second time I applied to grad school, I didn't get in. The third time I applied, I got in. I got in. I'll see you all in the next video, y'all. Hey!
When you rock the dance floor, I can feel your heartbeat on my